there everybody. Well, wishing all my viewers in the United States a very happy 4th of July, and it started raining out there, so no live stream outside today, although we might do a walk down to the creek a bit later on, and that just depends if the weather holds off or not. So now to get all these devices started and see who does come on, and wishing you all turning the sound off here, wishing you all a wonderful afternoon, evening, and to my viewers in the UK and Canada, wishing you all a wonderful evening, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. So we'll just see who does come on here. And I'll get this tablet up and started. And hopefully we get a few viewers and a few people to say hello. And of course having a coffee out here as we do so. And get this thing up and started, and hopefully we can do a few shout outs during the day as well, and to hear all of your stories and what you've all been up to during this holiday weekend. So just waiting on this thing to start up, and it always does seem to take a while to start up, so please do bear with me on that. Oh, and I better check. Got this donation thing set, so I'll just switch that on, of course, although you may not want to use that. Anyways, we got that on and running, and I'll just see if I've missed any messages. And don't think we've got anybody here yet, so we'll just wait a while and see who comes on. I'm a little bit earlier than what I set this, but I thought, well, I might as well start, nothing else to do, so get this thing up and running and see who does come on. And it'd be lovely to hear from everybody. And of course we will do a few shout outs today as well, as we always like to do. So just waiting on this to start. And of course number one shout out for a very special channel, Page Family Homestead, Our Journey Back. Andy recently had his tumour removed, so fingers crossed that all goes well there and Andy continues healing. So please do keep Andy and Peggy in your thoughts and prayers from Page Family Homestead, Our Journey Back. And please run their playlists and watch their videos, and if you're not subscribed to their channel, please do subscribe and watch their videos in full and smash their little bell so that you get alerts to all their videos, and show their channel some love. So I'll just get up their banner and we'll run their link first of all and give them a big shout out. And just to make sure that everybody remembers them in their thoughts and prayers, and that would be really much appreciated. So I'm just getting their link up now and I'll show you their banner, and we'll give them a big shout out. and I thought I'd go and sit outside, and I just went to set up out there, and it started to sprinkle rain, so that sort of put paid to that idea. But anyways, never mind. And I'll just run Page Family Homesteads link and give them #1 shout out for today. And this thing, it's playing up again, and you know, it's really quite annoying, this tablet. One of these days you're going to see me smash it on screen, I'm sure. So we'll just see if we can run Page Family Homesteads link now. So just running the Page Family Homestead, Our Journey Back link. So please check out Peggy and Andy's channel and show them some love. And I'll just get this little phone out just to see what I've missed. And having a cup of coffee, and no doubt we'll be needing to replenish this cup of coffee again 1 or 2 times during this live stream. So just getting this phone up and just seeing what I've missed here. And current temperature 46 degrees, and oh my goodness, it's a 68% chance of rain at 8 AM. We're just on 7:10 now. 49% at 9 AM, 24% at 10 AM. So I don't think we'll be going outside. And I think I've got to that'll be better. Yeah, I had it was filming back to front for some reason, although I usually have it set on the right one, but it wasn't set right, so we've got it all set right now. So here, would love to listen or hear all your stories of what you've all been up to over this long weekend, or long weekend for a lot of my viewers. No long weekend for me, I'm afraid. No holiday weekends, although holidays don't really mean much here anymore with what's been going on. And I believe that Sydney is still under lockdown, so my sympathy to any of my watchers in New South Wales, and hopefully you all get through that very soon and have some happier times. So now just waiting to see who comes on, and my merchandise hasn't come yet today, but hopefully, until today, hopefully it comes today, and hopefully we see that very soon. And the mail site is saying it'll come either today or tomorrow, so we'll see about that. and I certainly hope it does come, because I'm wanting to show you all, and maybe we'll get a few people interested once they see what the merchandise looks like. And I've ordered a hoodie or a sweater or what have you, so it will be nice to have that one, and especially this time of year, any amount of more sweaters and hoodies doesn't go astray either. So just checking on this thing, and then I'll share this out, and hopefully we get a few people here to watch us as well. And that would be really lovely if I got a few viewers here. But a holiday weekend like this, who really knows? And it could be a bit hit and miss and a bit variable who we actually get. So we'll see who we get. And that will be most interesting, who we get coming by. And I had this tablet sitting outside just for a few minutes when I thought, oh, I'll set up outside. And so I got drops of rain here on it, so that's making things quite interesting. So hopefully it hasn't sort of got too much water on it. And well, that would give me an excuse to buy a new tablet if it did get waterlogged, but I can't afford a new tablet at the moment, so I'm afraid it won't be a new one for a little while yet, I'm afraid. So just loading this thing up, and hopefully it doesn't give me too much grief, as it's often apt to do. And just saying who's come on here. Nobody wants to talk yet. So it could be a bit of a slow day with my live stream here. But we'll get things shouted out, and hopefully we'll get some viewers come by. But we'll see what happens there. And you know, it all will be quite interesting if we do get anybody, and we'll see. Oh, this tablet's still a mile behind, so you know, please do bear with me on that. And of course we will do a few more shout outs today as well, and hopefully we get a few viewers on and get a few channels shouted out. And of course, if I get some viewers who I can shout out, I'm always happy to shout you out as well. And that sort of depends if I can find your channel links or not, so hopefully I can find them. So we'll just go back to here and we'll share this out, and hopefully we get a few people here to watch. And hopefully this machine doesn't give me a lot of grief while I try and shout this out. So just sharing this one out, and hopefully we get some viewers. So I'll post this up on my community tab, and we'll get this out to Facebook as well. And it's coming up to 7:20 a.m, the time that I'd sort of set to go live. So hopefully we now get a few people coming on, as you know, they wake up or go and check their phones and computers and televisions, and you know, for the time that I sort of scheduled to go live. So hopefully we get some people coming on. And the weather's all looking very gloomy outside, so whether we get some creek inspections and garden walks or not, we'll see what happens. So posting this one out, and hopefully we get some viewers. And who have we got here? And please don't be shy and do say hello. I said we've got one here watching, so welcome and good afternoon, good evening. Oh, excuse me. This weather makes me want to cough, so please bear with me on that. And inside the kitchen today, because it's starting to rain out there, and it's probably not really so pleasant. I went out there to set up earlier and it just started to rain. Got to come inside. And current temperature 46 degrees Fahrenheit, and we've got a 68% chance of rain, so we may not even get to do a walk out there to the creek today. We'll just see what happens with that. So yeah, not much of a day weather-wise. And I better plug this thing in while I think of it as well, and keep this thing charging, or we're all going to grind to a halt, and that will be not so much fun for me. So just plugging in my power bank, and we'll see who we've got coming on. And of course we'll do a few more shout outs, and I've got to think who I've got to shout out. I know there's a few I'm wanting to catch up with that I haven't shouted out for a while, so please bear with me on that. And first up, I'll shout out once again Paige Family Homestead, Peggy and Andy's channel. And Andy just recently had surgery to get a tumour taken out, and apparently all went pretty well there, but there's still a long road ahead. And you know, please do keep Andy in your thoughts and prayers, and also do keep Peggy in your thoughts and prayers, as being a carer can be quite daunting. And of course, you know, having somebody you love suffering a health affliction such as this can be very, very stressful and draining as well. So I just ask you all to please keep them both in your thoughts and prayers, and lift them up in prayer, and that would be much, much appreciated. and also to help their channel out by running their playlists. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to their channel and smash their little bell so that you get alerts to all their videos. Please watch their videos in full and give them plenty of thumbs up and inspiring comments, and they really appreciate all the love that they've been shown by everybody, so it's really much appreciated and a big thank you. So I'll just post Page Family Homestead, Peggy and Andy's channel link again. And another shout out I'm going to do, so hopefully I can get his channel up. I've got to shout out quite a few when I think of it. We'll give Walt a shout out. Walt Revan Jr. and Walt and Lisa have been going through their own health issues, and Lisa's had a real rough time of it with her health, so please do keep Lisa and Walt in your thoughts and prayers as well. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and smash his little bell and watch his videos in full and give him plenty of nice comments and thumbs up. I'll show you Walt's channel banner, and I'll run his link. So please do keep Walt in your thoughts and prayers, and Lisa in your thoughts and prayers as well, and show them some love and support, and that would be really much appreciated as well. So I'll run Walt's channel. And share out his link, so please do check him out and show his channel some love. And as you go and show any channels some love who I shout out, please do tell them that Arielle sent you, and I'd really appreciate that. And I know that if somebody sends a viewer to my channel, I really appreciate hearing who did send them across. And of course, you know, it gives me a good opportunity to give that channel a big shout out as well, and you know, a shout out of appreciation and thank you doesn't go astray. So I'm going to get another channel up for a shout out while I think of it, and a great channel. I've got a video that I've got to watch of his. It's sitting on my watch later list. I got the alert last night when I was half asleep or very early this morning, so I'm going to give him a big shout out, and later today I'll be watching his video, Getting It Done North of 7. So a big shout out to Roland's channel. And if you don't know Roland, please do check out his channel and subscribe and smash his little bell and tick all alerts, and leave him plenty of thumbs up and nice comments, and tell him that Arielle sent you, and that would be really much appreciated. And Roland's videos, he does do a lot of how-tos and fix-it videos and great tips on fixing things, so really well worth checking out Roland's channel, and all the tips and hints and fixes that he shows, it's really invaluable and wonderful. So I'll just show you his channel banner and we'll run his link. So getting it done north of 7, I'll run his link and give him a big shout out. Oh, this thing's playing up again. Oh, this tablet. Anyway, I hope I can get his link out now. So we'll just run his channel link and give him a big shout out. And I'll just get this other phone out and just see if I've missed anything, and we might even go for a bit of a creek walk in a few minutes. As things are all fairly quiet here at the moment, nobody wants to say hello, so you know, I guess it may be a bit of a quiet live stream today, I'm afraid. But we'll see if we get anybody on. And sharing this out, as you know, sometimes the alerts get rather buried these days, so you know, we may not see so many on YouTube. We shall see who does come by. And it would be really lovely if we did get a few people dropping by, but what will be, and a holiday weekend like this is probably quite hit and miss, I'd say. So we'll see who does come on, and I'll just go and get ready to do a creek walk, as it's not raining just at the moment, so hopefully we can go and have a bit of a walk down there and a look down there and not get rained out. So I'll just get set up to do a creek inspection or a garden walk. I'll see if anybody's dropped by here yet. Doesn't look like it, so it could be a fairly quick live stream too. Anyways, I'll go and get this door open and we'll go and do a bit of a inspection down here, as it has stopped raining just for the moment, so hopefully we don't get rained out. So yeah, things are looking all fairly gloomy outside here at the moment, so I think it might have been the right move just to set up inside. I was going to sit up under this balcony, but then it started dripping and thought, no, I don't really want to get rained on. So just walking down this path, which is on a steep enough slope, so got to be careful that I don't slip over on these stones. And I'd definitely get a wet bum here without my towel if I was sitting here, wouldn't I? Anyways. The water's not as high as I thought it would be, so I guess the tide must be out down at the beach. But it all looks fairly grey and gloomy, and there's a few spots of rain just falling again here, so I think we might run back up inside pretty soon. But I know everybody does love to have a look outside and a creek inspection, and I think most of you probably rather look at the creek than look at me. So having a look around, and I'll run back up inside, and I think I'll get another cup of coffee on. This thing up again, the wind has blown that over. So back now indoors, and I'll set my camera up and see what everybody's got to say. And oh, I wish my housemate would clean up all the things, but never mind. So setting this back down and see if anybody's come on to say hello, and get another coffee on in a minute. Oh, hi there, Todd. Great to see you, and thank you for coming by. Yeah, everything's a bit quiet today. I guess everybody's busy with the holiday, and they're not really going to come online or onto my live stream because they're all busy with their families and whatever else. So it may be a fairly slow and quiet live stream today. I guess we'll see what happens with that. And it's not really that nice of weather. We just stopped raining here outside for a while, so down just for a walk down to the creek, and There's more rain on the way, and current temperature 46 degrees Fahrenheit and a 68% chance of rain, so I think there's more on the way pretty soon. And I think I definitely have to get another cup of coffee on here, and I did make a fair-sized pot of it, but of course, you know, the pot of it gets cold since I made it, and the handle's broken off anyway, so I've got to get a new handle for this thing, or I don't know if I'll be able to glue the handle back on or JB weld it back on, because the heat of this thing is probably made it all fairly brittle, being, you know, just a plastic handle. So I may have to see if I can get a new handle for that thing. So I'll just I'm going to microwave this one up just to reheat things up, and hopefully I don't boil things over, as you know often seems to happen. So just see what messages I've missed while this heats up. And we're all fairly quiet here, so it could be a bit of a slow live stream, I think. And hopefully we're not buffering or anything. With the weather conditions, the internet might be a bit funny as well, so if we're buffering, I do apologise for that. And this thing seems to be buffering, but you know, that's probably just my hotspot being a bit funny. And you know, with the bad weather conditions, that could well be, you know, something that's happening. And I'll just restart this thing and I'll see if it'll connect up. It could be just, you know, this thing needs restarting too. Oh, and no viewers at the moment, so I think things might be a bit slow today. Unable to connect, so I might just hit refresh on this thing and see if it will connect there. Walking around probably didn't help my internet. But a hot cup of coffee, so hopefully things will be better in a minute. And of course putting a bit of fake sugar in, and go and grab some milk and put some of that in, as I know a lot of people prefer their coffee black, but I definitely prefer milk or creamer or something like that in mine. Oh, I've got to get some more of this evaporated milk. But anyways, never mind. And of course a bit of real full cream milk on top of that. And of course I will be back for my usual hump day or Wednesday live stream as well, so if you don't catch that one, I'll be back for my midweek live stream. So I just hope I get a lot of viewers one of these days. But you know, summertime for all you guys, you're busy outside doing things. So it can be a bit difficult to find time to get onto live streams. So who else do we have here watching? See, we've got Todd here, so we'll give Todd a big shout out as well. So I'll get your channel up, Todd, and we'll shout you out. And Todd badly needs watch time, so please do run his playlists and watch his videos in full and give him plenty of thumbs up and nice comments. And also, if you're not subscribed to Todd's channel, please remember to subscribe to his channel and to smash his little bell and tick alerts so that you get all alerts to his videos. And Todd would really appreciate that. And tell him that Ariella sent you. So I'll just show you Todd's channel banner, and then we'll run his link. So everybody, please check out Todd's channel and show his channel some love, and that would be really much appreciated. So I'll just get Todd's link up here and we'll run that. And I know I have a lot of people watch my live streams later, so if you're one of those who runs my live stream back later, please replay the chat and click on the links that I share, and that would be much appreciated as well. So just running Todd's link and giving him a big shout out, and please do show his channel some love, and that will be much appreciated. And current time here, 7:48 AM on Monday morning. And if we've got a few here watching, what time is it for all of you as you're watching this? So just waiting for somebody to say hello and let us know that you're watching. So I'll just set this back aside and have another sip of my coffee, and we'll talk about what I've been up to. And I'd love to hear what all of you have been up to as well. And yesterday I cooked a ground lamb chili. So I had some ground lamb to cook up, so that was something a bit different. So I cooked that up, and I let that slow cook for like 5.5 hours, and it was absolutely wonderful. So I will put the video up of that sometime soon. I've got an outdoor cooking video that I've got to edit first and put that up. A steak hack using a chump steak, and you know, just how to tenderize that. And it's actually a really great method for tenderizing that. And you know, I made a bit of a rub, or put a combination of spices on that, as well as using a very little bit of baking powder. And you know, I will sort of detail that in my video how much I used, but that's an ingredient that you don't want to go too heavy on with steak, or you know, it can give a bit of an off flavour when you cook it up. So you also want to use some fairly strong spices as well with your steak, just to you know, mitigate or mask any funny taste from baking powder. And you don't want to leave it marinate too long either, or your steak will turn to mash. So hopefully I'll get that video up during this week for sure. And that'll be an exercise later later today to start editing on that one. So who else do we have here? And to all my dear viewers, I do have a couple of links down below in the description, so please do check those out. A donation link if you wish to support my channel in any way with a donation, or if you wish to buy some merchandise and advertise my channel and support my channel in that way, I have a link to my Teespring store. So fingers crossed. I've got a hoodie coming very soon. I thought it might have come Friday, but it hasn't yet. The postage services are all they're a bit hit and miss, I guess you could say, these days. And I did watch a video yesterday from Christine of My Tiny Retirement, and she was telling about how FedEx really messed up some packages of hers. So it was really quite shocking to see what they'd done. So speaking of Christine of My Tiny Retirement, we're going to give Christine's channel a big shout out as well, if I can get it up. My Tiny Retirement. So just waiting on the channel here to load, and I'll show you Christine's channel banner, and we'll run her link. And Christine, she's got 334 subscribers, so she'd absolutely love it if, you know, we could get her over 500. So if you don't know Christine's channel, please do subscribe and smash her little bell and tick all alerts, and share her channel and videos out with all your friends as well. Please watch her videos in full and give her plenty of thumbs up and nice comments, and tell her that Ariella sent you, and that would be really much appreciated. So I'll just show you Christine's channel banner. So My Tiny Retirement, and that's Christine's channel banner. So please do check her out, and I'll run her link and give her a big shout out. And waiting on this tablet to wake up. And my nose is starting to run again. Always seems to do that when I'm doing a live for some reason. And yet when I'm filming a normal video, it doesn't seem to do that. It must be just an effect of being live on camera, I think. But you know, it's quite annoying when that happens. But anyways, never mind. That's what it is, I guess you could say. And I'm going to give a shout out to a very inspiring guy and an inspiring channel. And I haven't shouted him out before, so I must give him a shout out. And I watch as many of his uploads as I can, and he does give me a lot of inspiration, and he's got some really great points and great thoughts. So I'm going to see if I can get his channel up. The Homesteading Pastor. So Pastor Lon, a big shout out to you, and also to your wife and family. And he's a really great, inspiring channel, and he does preach the word of the Lord, so you know, I really appreciate that as well, and you know, gives me much to think about and gives me comfort as well. So please do check out Pastor Lon's channel, the Homesteading Pastor, and his wife Robbie Lynn also will often do some cooking videos and different homesteading videos as well, so please do check her out. And I did see in one of Pastor Lon's recent videos that he was saying that Robbie Lynn hasn't really been that well lately, so please do keep her in your thoughts and prayers as well. And Pastor Lon, he's got a really inspiring family, and his children, a number of his children have some health issues, but you know, the loving way that he, you know, cares for his kids, and has even had his kids join in on the YouTube channel. It's really an inspiration. So please do check out his channel, the Homesteading Pastor, and I'll just show you his channel link, and we'll run his channel. So please do check out Pastor Lon's channel and show him some love. Watch his videos in full and give him plenty of thumbs up and nice comments. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please do subscribe and smash that little bell and tick all alerts. And tell him that Ariella sent you. and that would be much appreciated as well. So I'll just run his link. And he also shows some homesteading videos as well, so you know you can get a lot of advice on different homesteading issues. So please do check his channel out and show him some love. And I'll have another sip of this coffee, and waiting for a few more people to come on, and it might be nearly time for me to take a washroom break. So yeah, it says only 2 watching, so everybody's busy with their families and Independence Day, of course, so we may not get that many viewers on here today, so we may have to catch up with everybody on Wednesday when I have my usual Wednesday live stream. But anyways, I'll go and quick run to the bathroom, and then I'll be back. So running back and seeing who we've got here, and I'll get this earphones back in and rattle, rattle, rattle. I hope that didn't play through the microphone. And seeing if I've missed any messages here, and you may even run a clip if I can find a clip from before, and run a clip of what I was doing yesterday. And of course I'll be editing that clip and putting that into a video, whether that that video comes out this week or whether that video comes out next week, we'll see. And of course I've got another cooking project that I must do this week, some sausage rolls as well, so maybe I'll cook that later today. I guess, you know, we'll just see what the day brings. And I'll just see if I can get that clip up, and I'll run that clip and you know, give you all something to watch instead of you just watching me yabber away. Hi there everybody, thank you for coming along and watching my little video. If you like my content, please consider buying me a coffee. Links are below in the description and on my About tab. My videos contain all sorts of crazy antics, reviews, recipes, and much, much, much more. So please watch my videos in full and subscribe to my channel. So just a bit of a look around. This is the bottom of my garden and the creek. And this creek is right at the bottom of the garden, and there's a walking trail on the other side of the creek. And I know a lot of you are interested to see this creek, so it's good just to give you a bit of a look and a tour. And it's very muddy down here because the creek was flooded just recently. And the turtle doves are still sitting up there in this tree, so oh, we got some ducks coming. I'll see if I can get them. They're probably a little bit far for you to see, and don't know if I can zoom or not. So zooming, and that's it, is that I can zoom through the live stream. And those ducks are the native black ducks here. They're wild ducks, although they are rather tame and friendly around the creek. So I'm sure you're all loving a good look at those. Rebel against tyranny, fight for freedom. Burn these stinking, bloody, hated masks. Not quite the clip I was looking for, but never mind. I should have allowed some more clips on this. I did forget to load some more clips into my Prism, so please do apologise for that. Well, please do accept my apologies for that, I should say. And we're just waiting to see if anybody else comes on and wants to join in on the live stream. And of course we will run a few more shout outs, so I would love to see some more come by and say hello to us all. And I'll give another shout out to a young cook. He's really quite talented. And makes some wonderful recipes. And Eric did tell me he got an A in his last test. So that's really good news, and well done, Eric. And well done on all your hard work. So I'll just get up Eric's channel and we'll give Eric a big shout out. Eric Premchand Jagdio, and he's on 570 subscribers, so he'd love if he got some more subscribers, so please, if you don't know Eric's channel, please do subscribe to his channel and show him some love, and you know, watch his videos in full and share his videos out with all your friends. So I'll just show you Eric's channel banner and we'll run Eric's link. So a big shout out to Eric. And I'd say smash his little bell, but the settings don't allow us to do that. So hopefully if the settings ever allow for us to smash the bell and tick all alerts, please do so. So I'll just get up Eric's channel link now and run that. And give Eric a big shout out. So just running Eric's channel link now, and we'll see, get this other device and see who has come on. And hopefully I get a few viewers here and hear what everybody's been up to and your stories. So just run Eric's channel link, and of course a few more channels I've got to shout out here yet. And be lovely to see a few more come by. And of course, anybody watching, please do check out the links down below in the description. A donation link if anybody wants to help my channel out in that way. And also a merchandise link, and I'm hoping my merchandise comes today. Fingers crossed. Oh, hi there, Jocelyn. So a big hi to Hope for Life Walker, and thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate you coming and watching. Things are all very quiet today, and I'm sure it's because of Independence Day and the holiday weekend. So, you know, maybe we'll get a few more people on for my Wednesday live stream. So what have you been up to today, Jocelyn? And it's raining on and off outside, so stuck inside here in the kitchen today. So you know, we did do a walk down the creek earlier when it wasn't raining, and then it started spitting rain while I was walking down there. I was setting up like at about 6:30 to sit outside to do my live stream, and then it started to rain, and so quick scooted back inside under cover, and thought, well, I'll run it from here. Although I don't really like to run live streams from the kitchen if I can avoid it, because I sort of spend enough time in the kitchen as it is, and It's good to get outside and see something a bit different. And I know a lot of my viewers do prefer seeing the creek background instead of me. Oh yes, driving Ashley to the beach to work, cleaning, paperwork, an endless cycle of homework. Yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah, I don't know how many we've got because I've got a couple of devices running there, Jocelyn. So it probably shows the two devices here running as being viewers as well. You know, this phone runs just this is easier for me to read comments on and to, you know, if I want to type a comment out. And the tablet, well, that's much easier to run links from, so that's why I get two devices running. Yeah, endless homework. Yeah, sounds rather daunting, actually. And it'd be lovely if we did get a few more people on, but it's sort of looking like that's not going to happen today. So, you know, I guess summertime for all of you can be pretty difficult to get onto live streams, and you know, plenty of better things to do than just watching me in a live stream, I'm sure. I'll just have a bit of a look how long we've been running. Oh, we've been running about an hour and 17, so whether it'll be a shorter live stream or not, well, that just depends on who comes on, I guess. Yes, I understand that, Jocelyn, yeah. You're over it, I know, but you've just sort of got to still do it. That's life, I guess you could say. And, you know, whether I get up to the street later today or not, I don't know. It's always something I could buy or something I need, but, you know, the weather mightn't sort of really be in favour of that, so I may not go to the shops. And if I do go to the shops, it'd be only just to buy a bit more cola and maybe some ramen, and that'll be about it. As you know, as usual, funds are pretty limited, and you know, I'm so over ramen that you know, if I ever got a better economic circumstance, I'd never eat bloody ramen again, to tell you the truth. And I have heard that ramen actually makes a good fire lighting material or tinder, so one of these days I might have to go and test that out. Is ramen good tinder or not? And that could make for an interesting video. What do you think, Jocelyn? Ramen as tinder? And I have seen one or two interesting videos of, you know, Doritos and potato chips and the like being used as tinder. So, yes, ramen and Doritos. Well, I'd eat the Doritos, maybe taco shells for Tinder. But the ramen, I think I'd happily use ramen as Tinder for sure. So that could be quite an interesting video, ramen as Tinder. And maybe I should set that up and do that one of these days. Because, you know, I'm really starting to hate ramen, to tell you the truth. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's quite interesting, Jocelyn. Yeah, I can't sort of say that on here, of course, but yeah, I'm reading your text on that. But yeah, I can't say it on here, I'm afraid. So yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about that too much here on our live, but find something a bit nicer to talk about or a bit funnier to talk about. And maybe somebody watching has got some great Tinder ideas that might give us all a giggle as well. I've got ramen. Jocelyn said Doritos and ramen, so if anybody else is watching, or even you, Jocelyn, any other ideas for interesting Tinder for firelighting? Yeah, that's a good point, Jocelyn, yeah. But, you know, sadly, that's not a subject we can really run with here. Anyways, what else has everybody been up to? And who do we have here watching at the moment? We have Jocelyn. Todd, are you still with us? And I know Todd did say hello earlier at the start of the live stream, and often Todd has a meeting or something to do and he just lets the live stream run in the background while he does something else. So thank you so much for that, Todd. I appreciate that. And I must do a shout out also. I haven't done a shout out to Gail for a while, so we'll do a shout out to Gail Southern Living and give Gail a big shout out. And everybody who watches my lives later after the event, please do run the chat replay and click on the links that I share. So just getting up Gail Southern Living, and I'll show you Gail's channel banner and we'll run her link. And Gail's in Texas. So if you don't know Gail's channel, please do subscribe and smash her little bell so that you get alerts to all her videos. Watch her videos in full and share out her videos and channel with all your friends. Leave her plenty of thumbs up and nice comments, and tell her that Ariella sent you. So we'll just run Gail's link. and give her a big shout out. So Gail's Southern Living. And just running Gail's link and giving her a shout out. So everybody, please do check out Gail's channel. So I'll just start this up and see what I've missed here. And everybody's pretty quiet. I guess everybody's busy celebrating the weekend, so you know, who's going to come on here when you've got better things to do, I guess. And we're just coming up to 8:30 a.m. here on Monday morning. Monday the 5th of July here. But of course, for most of my viewers, it's still the 4th of July. So happy Independence Day, everybody. And may the 4th be with you. Oh yes, Hope, trying to get settled in and preparing to do some more math problems, yeah. I think I'd say math in general is a problem. And I'm not a great fan of math, and I'm glad these things have a calculator on them. You know, this app here, calculator, it gets a lot of use. And I'd be lost without it. Me and math are not very good friends at all. Oh yes, yeah, I think I could say that about math, Jocelyn, yeah. But yeah, you know, it's just you know, math is just not my thing at all. So, you know, I sort of avoid that if I can. So we've got Hope for Life watching. Who else do we have here watching? And please don't be shy and do say hello. And I know that probably 2 of the watches of these 2 devices I've just got running. Oh yes, figuring the cost of groceries. Well, you know, I sort of I know that when I'm shopping and as I put things into the trolley, I sort of run a running tally, and you know, round up on my running tally, because nothing worse of being at the checkout and then having to put something back because I can't afford it. But I have had to do that before. You know, oh, this comes to $25 and I've only got $20. Well, we'll have to take that off and that off, and you know, that's really embarrassing when you've got to do that, and I hate doing that. But yeah, so often I've got to go without, and that's just the economic reality here in this country, I'm afraid. And, you know, it's just not going to get any better. And, you know, like the price of gas that I saw the other day, $1.75.9 per litre. Not per gallon, but per litre. So, you know, 4 litres in a gallon. Oh, my goodness. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, the cost of living in general, it's all the same. You know, food and everything else, it's all in the same proportion. You know, absolutely ridiculous. But it's never going to improve here, I'm afraid. What age did I leave my adopted parents? I was 16 and a half, 17, where, you know, when I sort of left for the first time, and I'd sort of, things got a bit difficult. I went back for probably 6 months, but yeah, I'm 16 and a half to 17 when I left them and, you know, started emancipating myself, I guess you could call it. And, you know, it was a case of having to get out or not survive, you know. They certainly weren't easy to live with, and my adoptress may have been not too bad if she didn't have her husband, my male adopter. She left him when I was 16. So, you know, you can imagine how things were after she left. They certainly weren't any better, and so I was out of there pretty sort of soon after. Oh yes, they both kicked the bucket. My adoptress, she died, I think it was 2002, 2003, so nearly 20 years ago. And the male adopter, I googled him a year or so back, and I saw that he'd kicked the bucket and is now pushing up daisies. And I think he kicked the bucket in about 2018 or something like that. Yes, she left me with him, yes. So, you know, I was sort of gone, you know, pretty soon after that. And, you know, I did try and stay in contact for a few years after that, but, you know, it wasn't helpful for me, and, you know, ever, probably, you know, from like about 14 on, I sort of would drink myself to oblivion several times per week. And, you know, after I got away from them and completely cut ties, I pretty much stopped drinking, if you know what I mean. And a bottle of wine, or, you know, A bottle of spirits or a bottle of whatever can last weeks and weeks and weeks without me even touching it. Well, that was such, that was like the last straw, I guess you could say, Jocelyn, him being such a jerk, yes. And he always was a jerk. And she should have left him sooner. You know, she wasn't the best. I mean, her parents, she grew up in quite an abusive sort of household too. Her father was a wife beater, so, you know, I guess, you know, all that sort of normalised it and just made, you know, her situation normal. And she'd finally had enough of him when I was 16 and left him, so, you know, but he never laid a finger on his own kids. You know, he beat me, of course, because I wasn't blood, and he'd give her a bit of a slap around and a beat up too at times, and especially, you know, if she'd complain at him coming home drunk once again from the pub or something like that, well, she'd soon know that that's not her place to say anything about that. And, you know, of course, she was quite violent too then, with, you know, with punishments. She had a piece of hose about, I don't know, 2 feet long, and it was like 2-inch hose that she'd beat me with. She never touched her own kids either. But, you know, her doing that was just a symptom of her upbringing and a symptom of, you know, his violence in the household. And he would absolutely belt the living crap out of me. He had a, you know, a leather belt that he used and a stock whip that he used, as well as the piece of hose. So a few times, you know, the teachers at school would even, you know, say something, but nothing ever come of that, of course, because he had a person owner in the community that he was such a fine, upstanding citizen, when he was anything but that. Well, they had 2 kids of their own after they got me, and the first of their kids was born within a year of after they got me, so that didn't help things either. And you know, that boy, he was the golden-haired child, and he couldn't do anything wrong. Oh, he was good at sports, and he was so good at school, and you know, he was such a star in their eyes. And in reality, he turned out that he was the most abusive and narcissistic piece of POS that ever existed. You know, he certainly took after his father on that. So, you know, certainly, you know, I don't have anything to do with their kids either. Once when I left, I cut their kids right out of my life as well. It was just far better for me to do that. Well, I wonder, you know, sounds like yeah, well, I don't call her my mother, Jocelyn, my adoptress, you should say. mothers and fathers to me are people who actually, you know, are the genetic parents of the children. So, you know, I talk about fosterers and adopters, not foster parents or adoptive parents, because, you know, the adoptive or the foster makes the parent part redundant, in my view. But anyways, no other daughters, 2 boys. And, you know, the older one, he's a year or a bit over a year, like a year and 6 months younger than me. So, you know, within 12 months of them getting me, they had him. And that certainly wasn't ideal either. When they got me, I was about 6 months old. Of course, I spent the first 3 months of my life in the hospital's incubator, and then the next 2 to 3 months I spent with a fosterer before they put me out to adoption. So, you know, you've got to forgive me that I have trouble with forming relationships and that sort of thing, because it's not something that I grew up with at that critical time. You know, a child at birth should be with her mum or his mum, not stuck away in an incubator with no human contact. And of course, you know, in those days there was no human contact. They just put them in the incubator, and baby was expected to you know, live or die, I guess you could say. Oh, hi there, Ty. Great to see you. Oh yeah, you're too kind, Jocelyn. I don't know if the abuse that I endured made me a better person. It probably just made me more sympathetic to others, but that's about it, really. And you know, it's sort of, it has left lifelong scars, of course. Yeah, you don't blame me for leaving it all behind. Well, I think what made it easier is that they weren't family, if you know what I mean, Jocelyn. It was obvious that they weren't family, and you know, anybody, when I was a little girl, anybody who saw me with them would ask, "Oh, whose little girl's that?" You know, because I didn't look anything at all like them. You know, completely different features and everything completely different. Well, you know, basically a whole different ethnicity to them, and you know, what you'd call a different race to them, and it was obvious that I wasn't there. So that probably made life more difficult for me too. Growing up, I felt like a bloody alien, and I was an outsider. So, you know, that's just what I put up with. Did I ever get the chance? Well, that was a taboo subject, Jocelyn. you know, if I ever brought up the subject of adoption, or I wish I knew what my mum was like, or anything like that, I got punished quite severely. That whoop my ass, so to speak. So, you know, that was a forbidden subject, and I learnt very young not to speak of that, or ever to bring up those questions. So, you know, that was something I internalized. And, you know, if I ever mentioned something like that in earshot of any of their friends, well, you know, of course that would come back to them, and I'd get my ass whipped for that as well. So, you know, yeah, I better get my glasses because I can't read this text. So just wait me a second. You know, without my glasses, I can read like about 2 or 3 words, but when there sort of gets to be 10 words, it gets a bit much to see. I may have to run this again and edit this for another adoption video. Oh yes, I spit by a kid that was all over the place till they knocked you down a few notches. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But you know, I just learnt not to tell them. You know, I couldn't trust them. Anything I said or did was, you know, would get punishment. And I was never good at anything. I was hopeless, I was stupid, I was different. I wasn't like them. You know, that's all their words that I'm speaking of, Jocelyn. So, you know, when I say that I'm crap, you've just got to accept my apologies for that, because that's what I grew up with. You know, not positive reinforcement, but negative reinforcement. And everything about me was a negative in their eyes. And, you know, I wonder if if it was jealousy too. Oh yes, Ty, I loved your full video too. That last song you put up, really brilliant. I loved that. Yeah, probably 3 years, I guess, Jocelyn. Oh yes, the inner kitty, the Hello Kitty, yeah. Did I learn anything from being hit? Well, I learnt not to trust. I learnt not to tell. I learnt to keep secrets. You know, I just learnt that the world couldn't be trusted, and I also learnt that I was no good at anything. So, you know, whenever I wanted to do something, it was a big fat no. And I was hopeless at sports, but even, you know, if I wanted to join a sports team or something, they'd let me for, you know, 1 or 2 months, and then oh, they'd do something wrong. I'd do something wrong, or they thought I did something wrong or whatever. So, you know, as another punishment, well, they'd ban me from going to the sports team, so they'd take me out of the sports. And, you know, any outside activities, you know, where I might have made friends or whatever, they'd let me go for, you know, 1 or 2 months, and then they'd take me out. But of course, you know, they didn't ever do that punishment to their own kids. Their own kids could, you know, be involved in whatever outside activities that they wished. And, you know, the only outside activity that they never took me out of was Sunday school. So, you know, anything that I actually enjoyed doing, well, no, they wouldn't let me do it, or they'd let me do it for a little while and then they'd pull me out. And I'm sure they did that just to, you know, put me down and, you know, make sure I was still under their control. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of it's to extreme jealousy, because, you know, you can't say that their kids sort of turned out to be very good looking or anything like that. You know, their kids could run and play sports, but, you know, no personality whatsoever. You know, the personality of like a dirty, unwashed, stinking, rotten sock is basically the personality that their kids had. Oh yes, you learnt only whipping from your grandmother. Oh yes, wow. Yeah, I don't know if there's really anything, you know, to be gained from, you know, whipping. An open hand on the bottom is, you know, quite a different matter, of course. And you know, that hurts enough and shocks enough. But actually, you know, they take, you know, a belt to the child, and you know, that's actually becoming physical abuse, in my opinion. Oh yes, you just praised Paul for being good on car rides. Yeah, big thumbs up to that. But yeah, I'll probably have to edit this talk out and make it part of another adoption video for the adoptee group, because I know a lot of adoptees are quite interested to read that. Oh yes, means having enough love equally. Yeah. Well, you know, it's something I really struggle about is love, to tell you the truth, because my adoptress would say, oh, she loved you so much that she gave you up. And a lot of adopters will say that to, you know, to the adoptees under their care, and it does no good. And you know, we all learn really, young that love equals abandonment, and you know, love equals basically being thrown into the trash. So, you know, it's not really something that a lot of us really can relate to. You know, we've had the meaning of love so poisoned by, you know, the gaslighting and the lies and all of that come from adopters. And a lot of it's just adopters trying to lay claim to us beyond all doubt. And, you know, of course, we're not theirs. We don't belong to the adopters. We're somebody else's child. But of course, you know, a lot of adopters are very narcissistic or Arielle-Viking. But, you know, they're really self-centered and they wish to own the child that they adopt. And, of course, you know, the child that they adopt, that adoptee has a job. And in every case with adoption, the adoptee has a job, and our job is to serve the adopters. And, you know, I was basically their Cinderella. That's what they saw me as. And, you know, that's what probably another reason why I wasn't allowed to have an outside life, or, you know, to ever stay over with friends, pajama parties and all those sorts of things. I didn't have those. And I wasn't allowed to do those things. But of course, you know, teach the adoptee not to have too many friends, keep the adoptee under control and dependent on the adopter. Make sure the adoptee works for her keep. You know, she's got a job to do and she's just got to earn her keep. Whereas, you know, my adopter's biological children, they could, stay over with their friends, no problem. Have their friends come and stay with them, no problem. Join a sports team and go to sports, be in scouts, everything they wanted, no problem, go ahead. Oh yes, that's an interesting story, Jocelyn. Yeah, that it hurt her more than you. Well, yes, adoption is a contract, but it's not a contract between the adoptee and the adopter. The adoptee is the subject or the object of the contract. You know, because we do not enter in the contract. We have no say, we have no consent. It's, you know, we're seen as being goods, as chattel, or, you know, like a pet or a servant, indentured servant, or what have you. And it's a contract, but it's a contract that's thrust onto us. It's not something we have any of our own say in. And, you know, that's why it's so important for so many of us adoptees to be able to overturn or annul our adoptions. You know, to get rid of their names off our birth certificate because they're not our parents. And to have our birth certificate actually revert back to having our real parents named as our parents, not the adopters. And an adoptee birth certificate and amended adoption birth certificate is actually nothing more than a title deed that's showing ownership of the adoptee to the adopters. So, you know, it's got to be a right, since this contract was imposed on us, that we can have these overturned legally, and we must have the ability to overturn these birth certificates and adoptions legally without any, you know, fault and no fee, because we shouldn't have to pay for something that was imposed on us against our will. Earning your keep is pulling your weight in. But, you know, it's so much different to, you know, a family working together. You know, biological kids, they're loved unconditionally, and, you know, they might be set a few chores or whatever. But, you know, whether they do those chores or not, their parents still love them. Whereas, you know, with adoptees, if we do not do what we're told to do, and we do not do what we're expected to do, so many of us actually get turned out. You know, thrown out of the house. You're not blood. Go away, you're not blood. You know, there's a lot of rehoming of adoptees that goes on. And, you know, quite often it's done on the quiet, because, you know, to actually throw a child out of your own home is sort of not really very socially acceptable. So, you know, it's sort of what goes on, that a lot of adoptees are, you know, thrown out and thrown back into the system and end up getting adopted by somebody else. A lot of adoptee rehoming, like rehoming an unwanted dog or an unwanted cat, basically. Well, you know, really, when you think about it, yes, you know, we were adoptees, we were like a ward of the state, and, you know, should be a ward of the adopters, and, you know, nothing more than that, because we're definitely not their children and don't belong to them. And, you know, it's a big reason why a lot of us talk about legal guardianship should be, you know, the go-to instead of adoption. Whereas, you know, legal guardianship is where somebody will just become a guardian or a legal guardian of the child. You know, the child's birth certificate is not changed. The child's name is not changed. And, you know, the child, of course, retains her or his real identity, and nothing's changed about that. Just that the guardian can, you know, put the child in school, you know, can sign, you know, parent-teacher letters, or, you know, give consent for the child to join a sports team, or, you know, medical treatment, or, you know, all those sorts of things, and have the child on their health insurance. But, you know, the child retains her or his full, true identity. I don't know. Probably I would have done better in a child home, Jocelyn, because, you know, they were that abusive. And I probably would have you know, been allowed to shine on my own account. Oh, excuse me. Too much talking. Too much yapping, you know. But yeah, I did get a bad set of caregivers. Well, you know, not parental, because, you know, adopters are not parents of adoptees, or not parents of the children placed under their care. Parent, you know, meaning actually coming from. You know, an adopter is nothing more than a caregiver or a fosterer, you know. If an adopter is a parent, they're only a parent of their own biological children. The main issue, well, that is a big issue too, Jocelyn. You know, that my mum gave me up. But I'll never know if it was intentional or not. My mum was actually 44 years old when I was born. She was a single woman, and by accounts that I've heard, there was a lot of US servicemen in the country, and, you know, in the city at the time, and she did have some friendships with some American servicemen. I'd heard that from a cousin, so I'd say that's probably the case. And I have done a DNA test, and the bulk of my matches are in the United States. So, you know, it's highly likely that my actual father was a US serviceman. But yeah, my mum, she was a single woman. She did have a de facto relationship at times, but I'm not related to that guy. You know, the DNA tests bear that out. That no relationship with him, and of course I have no father named on my birth certificate, or my original birth certificate, only my mum. And apparently from, you know, all the information that I could get from, you know, through Find, the state adoption search people in Victoria, is that my mum actually had a baby 10 years before I was born, and he died 1 or 2 days after birth. So, you know, I'm an only child, but I'm the second born, and obviously the youngest, because at 44 years old, you know, I was definitely the last of the line for my mum. She wasn't going to have any more babies after 44. So, you know, that to answer your question there, Jocelyn. But of course, you know, in those days, was it intentional or was it by force? I don't know if it was completely intentional, and I think a lot of it was by force. You know, of course, if she wanted to get back with her de facto, get rid of the kid. I won't be raising any child that's not mine. And of course, you know, being a single woman and an unmarried woman back in those days as well, there was a huge stigma on single mothership. and you know, there was no state support or anything like that on single moms. So you know, no hope, no hope of that. And being a middle class woman, if she couldn't work, how would she sort of support herself? And especially with the lifestyle that she was accustomed to, that she certainly wouldn't have wanted to live, you know, in poverty or you know, at a lower social economic. So you know, I'd say a lot of coercion, you know, to give me up and to throw me in the trash, so to speak, and into the adoption heap. But yeah, that's, you know, that's what it is, I guess. So now see what oh yes, Jocelyn, you're so passionate about loving that you're yet to find the man who deserves such a love. And the problem with me is I have zero patience. Yeah, I can understand that. And I'll take my toys and go home. Am I first generation? I don't know what you mean by that, Jocelyn. Please elaborate on that. But yeah, that's interesting. You'll take your toys and go home if you don't like a situation. Well, I've started putting my foot down, and you know, within the last 5 or 10 years, and saying no, I just won't take the crap. I was far too patient and just took too much, you know, too much crap growing up. And you know, it only started like when I was 16 and a half, where I ran out on them. I'd had enough, and I've sort of, you know, been learning ever since just to put my foot down and to say no and no more. Well, see, my mum was Australian. That's the thing. But, you know, personally, I do not consider myself Australian, and I consider myself more an American, or, you know, from the US. Obviously, you know, my father's obviously American, and I've never had any great love of this country or this place that I'm currently in. And you know, the country that's only given me misery and, you know, threw me out from my family, why would I love this country? I hope for life. I'm a product of the 70s. And of course, you know, I was born at least 10 weeks early. So, you know, I don't even consider my listed date of birth as being my birthday. And, you know, my true birthday, you know, you're looking at about the middle of January, not around Halloween, but the middle of January. So I actually consider, you know, that more my birthday than Halloween. Oh yes, pre-75, yes, Jocelyn. I don't have a match on my biological father, no. And it's probably something I will never know unless I get a match, you know, in ancestry.com or in you know, My Heritage DNA or one of those, a match saying, oh, likely father or, you know, likely brother or sister, I'll never know. Because, you know, I'm the only child from my mum. Mum had a child 10 years before me, but of course, you know, he died a couple of days after birth. And then 10 years later, she had me at 44. And she definitely wasn't going to have, she was nearly 45 when I was born, actually, to tell you the truth. She was never going to have any more children after that age, of course. So, you know, no siblings from my mum. So if a sibling ever pops up, or a half, it would be a half sibling, of course, ever pops up in, you know, the DNA tests, you know, obviously that child's father will be my father. Yeah, I am lost in the big old world, yeah. Stuck in a pit hole of a country with nobody really. Yeah, that's what it is, and you know, I was just doomed to put up with that. I have shown you the actual results of my my heritage DNA, haven't I, Jocelyn? There's something like about 6,000 matches in the United States. I think there's something like about 2,000 in England. And there's only like about 500 or 600 minor matches in Australia. And you know, the funny thing is that my heritage DNA actually concentrates its members on Europe, Australia and the rest of the world, and not the United States. So I've got all these matches in the United States, which is not a country that my heritage DNA has really concentrated on, and most of their members are, you know, in England, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, etc., not the United States. And I've got all these matches in the US compared to Australia, where my mum actually was from. But yeah, you're too kind saying I'm more precious than you ever really know. Well, I mean, I always saw myself as being, you know, to put it bluntly, SHIT. And I was told that, you know, growing up, that you're SHIT, you're nothing. Don't make a spectacle of yourself. You know, because actually I was quite talented at acting, you know, on stage and that sort of thing, but of course I was never encouraged to do that, and I was never given, you know, even the church concert each year with their play, I was never given any parts in those, and I'm sure my adopters, you know, said to, you know, the people at the church who were you know, running those church concerts, no, we won't let her have a part. Please don't give her a part. And, you know, I'm sure the doctors had a fair say in that. As, you know, I wanted to join a theatre group when I was a little girl, and of course I was not allowed to do that. They wouldn't even let me go and watch, you know. Oh yes, needles in the haystack, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm a survivor, I guess. You know, I'd love to set up a GoFundMe, but I'm not so forward, or you know, to actually set it up myself. If you needed a GoFundMe, or if one of my friends needed a GoFundMe, I'd happily set it up for another. But, you know, for me to set up a GoFundMe for myself, it actually sort of rankles. And, you know, I sort of think, well, you know, there's not the legitimacy to a GoFundMe with people who set them up themselves. Far more legitimate if somebody sets up a GoFundMe for their friend or their family or what have you. You know, I'd love if somebody did make a GoFundMe, get Ariella to America to stay or something like that. I'd love, you know, I'd love that, but I can't see that happening. Yeah, I was lazy and thought everyone owed me something. Perhaps she was right. Somebody does owe me something, my identity, yeah. Well, you know, that's one thing I've fought for all my life, Hope, is actually forging my own identity, because my own identity was stolen from me. So, you know, I've actually fought all my life to, you know, forge my own identity. It's something I've fought for all my life, and you know, my identity is not an Australian, you know. And I spent so long outside of Australia that you know, the thinking here and the thinking that my adopters tried to drum into me is just so limited, and so untrue. You know, that oh, Australia, the best country in the world, oh, you're so lucky. You know, and I call bullshit on that, to tell you the truth. You know, I'll say probably nearly every country's got its own good points and own bad points, and you know, to say that other countries are less than just because they're not Australia is just, you know, absolutely disgusting. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, I'm sorry that your real mum told you that, Hope, that, you know, those sorts of words are really hateful. And, you know, to say that to a child never does any good and does far more harm than anything. And, you know, you get told those things often enough and you actually believe them. You know, even if they're a complete lie, you believe them, that you'll never amount to anything, and you're basically SHIT and all that. You know, when they sort of drum those words into a child, the child grows up and believes it, and it's not a belief that you can easily, you know, rub out or abandon, or because it's still lurking at the back of your subconscious that you are SHIT and never will amount to anything. So, you know, it's probably why I sort of have worked so hard at this channel as well, to tell you the truth, is to prove that I can do something. And to actually, you know, when I was a teen, I actually had like a couple of guys who'd tell me, you know, of course my parents didn't approve of those guys, or my adopters didn't approve of those guys. I'd say, oh wow, you're going to be a star one of these days. You should be famous, and you know, all of that. And, you know, of course, telling words that my adopters would never approve of. And, you know, that sort of given me, you know, a little bit of hope, and sowed a seed in my mind that maybe I should get out from the situation and try and start life anew on my own terms. Yes, that's true, Hope. Have someone steal everything, yeah. And I'm sorry they did do that to you, Hope. That they stole, you know, your heritage and land and money and all of that. Yeah, so you woke up one day and realised you'd been wronged, yeah. My earliest memory is that I was wronged, and that you know, things definitely weren't right, and I wasn't in the right place. And of course, as I got older, understanding of that grew and grew too, and comprehension of how I was wronged has grown and grown. Yeah, well, you know, that's a big thing. Not to try and step on people's hearts to get there. You know, to build yourself up at the expense of others is not really building yourself up at all, but tearing yourself down, as well as tearing down others. But yeah, interesting thoughts and interesting concept. Let's see how long we've been running. I might have to refill this coffee cup too. Oh, nearly 2.5 hours. I hope there's still some coffee in this. Oh, goodness me. About 1/3 of a cup. Well, I'll set that up and have that anyway, and then later after this live stream, I'll have to make another cup, of course. Or, you know, brew another pot, but nearly out of coffee, and it's supposed to last the rest of this week, but I might be waiting for more coffee till next week by the look of it. I think I have enough for another 2 days, and then that'll be it. Oh, Kaywood Adventures. Hi there, Rod. Thank you for coming by, and great to see you. And a very happy 4th to you, Rod. Yeah, that's a good point there, Hope. Yeah, you're the expert of yourself. Well, that's so true. Oh good, I didn't boil this over. Look how little coffee there is. I'm going to have to brew another pot. Anyways, never mind. It is what it is. Once I put milk in, it'll end up being about half a cup of coffee. At least I got milk today. Yeah, too much talking gives me a dry throat. Yeah, did you miss anything? No, we're just having a discussion on Livestream, I guess, and I'm going to have to save this live stream and you know, put some pieces into another video, because there's, you know, I have a few followers who are interested about adoptee issues, so I'll have to do some editing and make that available to those people. But yeah, you know, I took off, you know, when I sort of ran out on my adopters. That's when I first took off to Indonesia. So, you know, basically a kid or a teenager in Jakarta. And I did come across a few very caring people, and actually where I went to was where I first went to was actually a pen pal of mine, and her mum sort of become like a spiritual mum to me, so that's sort of how I ended up in Jakarta. And of course, you know, lived a long time in Jakarta, and then moved on then later after that for close to a year living in Malaysia, and then on to Thailand. And, you know, I'd actually spent probably 3/4 of my life living in Asia, to tell you the truth. Oh yes, a completely different experience than with my adopters. Yes, I did get the hell out of Dodge, yes. But you know, a very different experience and a very different family than my adopters. And you know, my adopters called themselves Christians, but you know, they obviously they weren't. But you know, the my spiritual mum, as I call her, and my spiritual family, well, you know, they are in the truest sense of the word, and you know, their kindness and their generosity was really, you know, actually, you know, helped me to heal, if you know what I mean. And you know, it's sort of you know, they sort of help me sort of not need to get crazy drunk several times a week just to, you know, blank everything out. So, you know, very, very, very crazy what I, you know, the first part of what I went through in life, and then, you know, very, very, very different, you know, the people that I lived with and stayed with in Indonesia. Well, you know, I don't know if a lot of those people are really Christian in the true sense of the word. You know, they speak a lot of church stuff, but they're certainly not living, you know, the true message or the true teachings of what Jesus spoke about. So, you know, just because somebody goes to church and rah, 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 talks all churchy stuff, I don't think that makes them a Christian. I mean, by all accounts, they would have called my adopters Christians. And, you know, my male adopter particularly, they would have called him a Christian. He never missed a church service. He would be blind drunk in the pub on Saturday night. And of course, in church and Bible study for, you know, Sunday the next day. And, you know, drunk in the pub 2 or 3 nights during the working week as well. And, you know, he'd drink at home every night as well. He was basically an alcoholic. You know, he'd sit down of a night, even when he's at home, and, you know, he'd have his three or four bottles of beer, you know, big bottles of beer every night. Yeah, I think that's true, Rod. So many, you know, they're all talk, but it's I think it's just, you know, they're trying to justify themselves. They know they have something rotten about them inside themselves, so, you know, they just really talk themselves up a lot and talk the talk just to try and mask or hide, you know, their bad or their rottenness or whatever. And, you know, I wouldn't say it's about the talk at all. It's more about how somebody lives. Yeah, I don't know what that movie is, Hope. I haven't watched a movie for years, and I actually missed out on watching a lot of movies. So you know, unless it was really, really huge, I wouldn't have seen it in Indonesia. You know, we'd only see the biggest movies in Indonesia, of course, you know, like a new Terminator would come out. Well, that movie was, you know, in the movie theatres for sure, and or a new Disney movie, well, that'd be in the movie theatres for sure. Yeah, please do so if you can find that, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know if those people really are, Jocelyn, if you know what I mean. You know, they call themselves such, but they don't they don't actually live, you know, as they are. You know, they might publicly live as they are, but you know, what's inside their hearts and what's inside their private life that nobody sees can be really quite different. You know, like my male adopter, for example, he was basically like an elder of the church. But, you know, he'd beat his wife up and get drunk and beat me up, and he absolutely had some foul books hidden away that he must have read in secret or whatever. So, you know, in his real life, he was anything but. People thought, you know, people in the church and whatever thought he was, and called him such, but you know, in reality, he was anything but a Christian, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I'm sorry that you've gone through that too, Rod. And you know, you sort of summed that up really well. You know, your mom is the best Christian. Just ask her. But we never talk. Yeah, it's sort of, you know, it summed things up pretty well. How you put that. And me personally, I try to follow the teachings of Jesus, but I don't sort of say that I'm the best Christian or anything. I sort of, you know, like anybody else, just sort of struggle along and try to do my best, and you know, hope that God forgives me, and you know, all I can say is I'm not the best Christian, and you know, God please forgive me, and Jesus please forgive me, and Jesus please help me, and you know, I'm just an average person, really. Yeah, that's sad that you know, that your mom was like that, Hope. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fair enough, Hope. You know, I could understand that, and a lot of people say that they're spiritual because you know, they've been given such a bad experience from you know, established religions. Oh yes, a tea party wearing their best dresses, yes. Pinky out. Oh, so yeah, probably not drinking coffee. Oh, pinky out. We've got to. Oh, pinky out, pinky out. But yeah, you know, absolutely crazy. Oh, hi there, Karen. Great to see you, and thanks for coming by. Oh, yes, your mum's DNA is British Dutch, yeah. Well, my mum's DNA is probably mostly English, and you know, even though the largest part of my DNA is actually Scandinavian or Nordic or Viking or whatever, I wonder if that's sort of as much from my father as my mother. Oh, 100 degrees again. Oh, wow. And here it's currently, what are we on? 48 degrees. And a 49% chance of rain. And it was raining earlier, so, you know, I only did a walk down to the creek and then it started raining when I did that. So I'd set up the live stream in here, of course. So yeah, now yeah, back to DNA. You know, the biggest proportion of my DNA is Nordic or Scandinavian or whatever. So I think the Viking in my channel name is sort of really quite apt and ideal. And then other than that, some German, some Dutch, some English, and some Northern Eastern European, you know, north of China, Siberia, that sort of region. Some of that. So the biggest part of my DNA actually comes from the frozen north, so that's really quite interesting. Oh, well, so you haven't had much rain in 7 or 8 months. Wow. And then I hear some other parts of your country has had a heap of rain, so it's sort of quite interesting how that works. Oh yes, every Sunday and Wednesday, yes. Yeah, don't claim to be anything special. I just try to be good when I can. Yeah, that's fair enough, right? But you know, as for church, well, I haven't actually been to church in years, to tell you the truth. It's all very sad what the churches are like here, and you know, a lot of them I find here aren't really teaching the true message, and they're even telling us to do things that you know, that are actually contrary to what should be taught. So you know, it's best not to go to, you know, they've lost their way. Yes, very different weather all over. Yes, by the sound of it, yeah, Karen. Well, that's interesting, Rod. Yeah, about your background. Also hot and dry in Alaska. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting, Karen. Yeah. Part Irish and German on your father's side and part Cherokee Indian on your mum's side. And your great-grandmum was a Cherokee medicine woman. That's really interesting. But yeah, all very, very interesting, and you know, that's a great part of these live streams to share a few stories. Oh, my nose is starting to drip again. Oh, I've been sitting here so long talking that I'm going to have another bathroom break in a minute, so please do bear with me. I'll be back in a couple. Oh, and I say it's starting to rain again outside too, so I wish I could send some of my rain up your way, Rod, and also up your way, Karen. And you probably wouldn't mind our 48-degree weather either, I guess, with it being so hot. Oh wow, yes, sunlight all day right now. It won't get dark for another month or so. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw the midnight sun once when I was much younger, and that was in northern Sweden, so that was quite interesting. And it's something I'd love to see again, you know, the midnight sun. But I went another time, it was springtime, and so, you know, it was about the time, you know, equal day and night length, but of course still snow on the ground in northern Sweden. We're looking at about 20 years ago for that, when I went to Europe last. And, you know, sort of being stuck here, I do miss the travel that I used to do as well. But, you know, the long night would take a bit of getting used to, I'm sure, Rod. You know, when it's dark 24 hours a day, or nearly 24 hours. Well, I've got to put my glasses back on. I can't read much more than a few words without them. Oh yes, Hope Creek blood begins with your great-grandfather on your dad's side, yeah. Oh, blackout curtains, I think, came from Alaska, if you're not surprised. Yeah, it could have been. Or even, you know, like the Nordic countries during the, you know, the midnight sun. Blackout curtains would have certainly been used there for a long time. Well, you don't even remember what rain looks like anymore. And yesterday, as I was making my chili, it was just heavy, hard rain all day. So, you know, when I finally get that chili video up, you'll probably hear rain sort of beating down outside at times. Yeah, one of those apple blackberry tarts, yes. They were really so good, yes, and I wish I had some more of them. Although later in the week I'll probably cook up some sausage rolls, because I do have some pastry left, so I'll probably cook up some sausage rolls, and of course, you know, I'll make a video of those. Oh, fireworks, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, there's quite a few fireworks around. I love a good fireworks show, and I haven't seen one for years and years and years. Well, yeah, skeeters. I did hear that many of you do say that skeeters are probably your state bird. that they grow so big. Oh yes, you should be thankful. It will get cold again soon. Yeah. Eagle size skaters, yeah. But they don't seem to get that big here. Down here, they're those little small sneaky beggars. You know, sometimes you don't even hear them, but you just feel them when they bite. But of course, you know, no skaters around here at the moment. Not in this season of the year. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of skaters either myself, to tell you the truth. Oh, how long have I been running? I must have a look, and I might have to switch on and switch off the power bank again, because once it fills up, it switches off, and then, you know, it starts discharging, you know, from the phone, and it won't sort of charge things up again until I turn, you know, the power bank off and on. Maybe we're at 100% on the phone, I don't know. But been running 3 hours, so hopefully it's charging, or we might sort of grind to a halt very soon otherwise. As you know, that does sort of happen at times. And we're just at 10:06 a.m. here on Friday morning. Yeah, a meme of the Florida mosquito, yeah. Yeah, full of all the neighbours' blood, yeah, sick little pest, yeah. Well, I don't know if there'd actually be any animal rights activists for those things, and you know, I couldn't see that happening. And let's hope there never is, because, you know, I don't sort of really see the use for mosquitoes. You know, maybe fish bait, but that's about the only use they have, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure, yes. People would look at them like they're crazy. So who do we still have here with us? Whether we end this live stream fairly soon, unless somebody wants to still talk, and I can charge all my devices up again, and because yeah, the power bank's now at half battery when I looked at that, so you know, I'll empty that out pretty soon. This little phone's getting pretty low in power as well. But of course, you know, I will be back for my Wednesday hump day live stream, of course. So I'll be back for that anyways. And then later today I've got to do some more editing. I'll actually start editing that video where I cooked that steak up outside by the creek. So I'll put that to edit. And then my chili video, that'll be a no talking one. I might get that one up next week, I think. Otherwise I'll go crazy with all the editing if I try to edit another 2 videos, and then I have to film one during this week as well. I'll definitely need to go crazy with all the editing. Oh, that's interesting. Alaska must be feeling some of Florida's weather, hot and muggy in the swamplands. Yeah. And I guess you know, you probably get a few interesting and swampy areas there, Rod, especially, you know, when the ice or the frozen soil all melts. And do you have permafrost where you are, where the ground's permanently frozen, you know, beyond a certain depth? Oh wow, hot, muggy and smoky. You have a few fires going. Wow. So where you are, Rod, if you dug down into the soil like, you know, 3 or 4 foot, would it still be frozen down below that level, or not? Yeah, you need the rain, Rod. Yeah, I wish I could send up some from down here up your way. Yeah, you take the rain, yeah. Oh, too much talking now. I want to cough. Oh yes. Well, it's not really that cold, just a bit chilly. You know, 48 degrees. It's not that cold. It's probably 48 degrees in here actually, because the heating in this house is pretty much non-existent. Oh yes, you don't mind. Oh yeah, no, I won't be doing that just yet. I'm sort of getting low on those too, Hope. So you know, be waiting until next week before I get any more of those. You know, the way the economic is in this place. Oh yes, fishing by the way for cod, yeah. But yeah, it's probably 48 degrees in here as well. Because you know, no heating to speak of in this house. Yeah, great stuff on the Q's and A's. Well, you know, when it's quiet, well, you know, we can sort of do the Q and A's, I guess. Everybody's busy celebrating, so didn't get many on here today's live stream. So you know, probably a great time for a Q and A session. Oh yeah, men in uniform, yeah. And you know, men in a real uniform. Absolutely. Yeah, I wonder what the temperature is here. I should have a look at the meat thermometer, and that'll just tell me what it is in inside. It's probably not very warm inside here. Well, this one's on Celsius. You'll laugh at this. Of course, I put my finger on it, goes up now, but under 10 degrees Celsius, so it's probably, yeah, that's probably 48 degrees Fahrenheit inside as well as it is outside. I should get that little fan heater going, but it's best to run that one just on the quiet, if you know what I mean, Hope. I did have it on down here earlier for the live stream, but something I run on the quiet. But yeah, that's what the temperature is, so that's probably what it is inside. By the look of things, I'd say that's what it is inside. But you know, that's something, that little heater, I sort of have to run on the quiet. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is inside, the same as outside. Yep. But you know why I run that little heater on the quiet, don't you, Hope? Because otherwise I'll get a lot of complaint. Oh yes, you have bad patches where there's bad permafrost and you can't build houses. Yeah, that's interesting. The hairdryer under the bed covers, well, no, she didn't know about that, Hope. she definitely wouldn't have been okay with that if she knew about that. So no, she didn't know about that one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, trees don't really grow because the roots freeze. Yeah. And you know what I have to pay per week. You know, it really does make you wonder. $250 a week just to stay here. Yeah, I'm giggling at that one, Hope. Yeah, I bet. I bet, yeah. That she just can't rub off, yeah. Yeah, that's quite a funny thought. I might just sneak it on later. Yeah, remind me to show you a text she sent me. She's got some thingy or whatever, some app that tracks the power bill, and she was complaining that the app was telling her that TVs and computers and whatever were on standby. Of course, pointing the finger at me. So I'm thinking, oh, that bloody app or whatever she's got, that is going to be no end of trouble for me, because I'm not going to go and unplug the television and unplug the microwave and all that, because it really, really, really annoys me when I've got to go and unplug those things. You know, I like to have the little clock on the microwave and not have to set the little clock all the time. I like to be able to just go and switch my television on with the remote. I like to have laptops, or tablets charging, that they're charged up and ready to go when I want to use them. Richard Arts, hello, great to see you, and hello, India. No, I don't think she is, Hope. She's somebody, she actually calls herself spiritual, and she's into tarot and all those sorts of things. So I don't think she actually is. Oh yes, stop calling you about your warranty. Yeah, that's a good one, yeah. And she's probably, she's more into witchcraft and those sorts of things, to tell you the truth, Hope. So I don't think so. She's actually one who probably would know about those dolls that Dustin talks about. She'd probably know about those dolls much more than what I would know, or you would know too, I'd say, Jocelyn. Yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe, Hope. but you know, it's not something I sort of discuss with her, to tell you the truth. You know, sometimes some things are best not discussed and spoken about, and you know, she's got very, very different views than me on all of what's been going on in the last year and a half, so it's best not to speak about it. Yeah, thank you, Rod, and great that you could drop by, and thank you so much, and I wish you a great 4th of what remains, and a great weekend, and a great holiday Monday, because I believe you all have a holiday on Monday. And yes, we'll catch you later, Rod, and thank you so much. Oh yes, you don't go looking for it, never go looking for it. Yeah, well that's fair enough. Hope, yeah. Oh yes, come on back and bring a cup of coffee next time, yeah. Talking about coffee, I'll be brewing up another pot once I've finished this live stream, to tell you the truth. I'm definitely going to need another hot cup. Oh, the street fireworks going off now. What time is it where you are now, Hope? And we're looking at 10:26 a.m. here on Monday morning. And I'm sure those street fireworks would probably look quite pretty. Oh, some strong coffee you've got there. Yeah, I need some strong coffee. Oh yes, 7:26 Central Time. So what that would put Rod, Alaska, what about 2 hours before you, or 3 hours? Oh yes, dark 30 street lights are coming on. Are just coming on. Oh well, I thought it would have got dark later than that at this time of year, Hope. Our summer, it like you know, the longest day, it gets dark probably about 9:30 or 9:20, something like that. And the sun's getting up at about 5:30 or 5 or something like that. So yeah, I would have thought your summer days in early July would have been a lot longer than that. Oh yes, 4:27 in Alaska, so 3 hours difference. But of course, yeah, it won't, where Rod is, it won't be getting dark at all, I don't think, by the sound of it. Dark in maybe a month or two's time. Yeah, I should bring that up too. What the sunrise and sunset is. But yeah, this is our sunrise and sunset times in June. And I'll bring it up for December, which you know, is a similar time for similar time frame to what you're having now in Florida. So yeah, our summer days are probably a little bit longer than yours, Jocelyn, by the looks of that. Oh yes, that's true. Days where it's dusk the whole 24 hours. Yes, you're sort of talking about that happening during the winter in Alaska, of course. Yeah, I hope they do get those fires under control. Oh yes, can't stay out long with the skeeters. Yeah, yeah, stay out too long and they would have carried you all off. So yes, yeah, crazy. Yeah, about an hour later for us on the sunset with the yeah, in summer, yes. And how long have we been going? I'll just have a look. We probably should think about ending this live stream and me getting another cup of coffee percolating. Just on 3 hours 29 minutes, so nearly 3.5 hours. So yeah, I'll give it another couple of minutes and then I better call it a day for this live stream, as I'm sure everybody's got things they want to do. Bye, Karen. thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I'll end this fairly soon, and I'll get another copy on brewing because I definitely need a hot drink. There's not a lot of heating in this house, and it's about the same temperature inside as what it is outside. So, you know, just 48 degrees. So time for a hot coffee again, I think. Oh yes, ribs to finish cooking. Oh, that sounds good. Ribs, yeah. Math to do too. Well, that doesn't sound so good. Oh yes, right about the lazy, yeah. Well, I can be lazy if I want to. But there's, you know, certain things that I sort of not lazy about, and I push myself with, and you know, I'm sort of a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my cooking, and when it comes to my videos. So, you know, that's sort of one of the few things I do push myself about or push myself with. But yeah, thank you so much, Hope. Huge appreciation for you coming by, Jocelyn. Be nice if somebody did do this GoFundMe, help Ariella move to America, but I can't see that happening, so never mind. Well, yeah, I'll keep pushing on, you know, the videoing and the channel and that sort of thing. So yeah, I better call it a day and get my next cup of coffee brewing away, as I definitely need that to warm up. And I'll have to see if my package has come yet, because I really want this package to come with my merchandise, and you know, I can show it off. And you know, another reminder, please do check out my merchandise store. The link down below in the description. Anyways, we better call it a day, and I'll ask everybody to take care. God bless, and until next time, bye bye.